Hey there, this is Eric. Welcome to the quick lesson and update that I have for you. So I am on the homepage of audio-issues.com, and I don't know if I'm saying his name correctly, but I went to get some feedback from Jorgen, and he has a heck of a story and quite a whole lot of experience. He's been featured on all these other recording websites. Now, he doesn't dabble with house and electronic music really at all. So I figured, let me see what someone outside the dance music thing has to say about my music. So what he had to say is that the one issue, now I had asked him, now you can go to his website and for $25, you can have him review your stuff, and it's pretty neat. In a couple days, you ask him your questions, he will send you back a screen capture video like what we're watching here, and you can listen to him comment and go through it. So what he told me, and he used a plugin like what I'm going to show you, it's a free one, is that the tune was a little lacking in the frequency response. Maybe not at this part of the song, but say right around here. Okay, so this is the Voxengo Span Spectrum. It's on my master fader, and you can tell that there's a lot of harmonic content in the 60 to 800 hertz range, particularly towards 80 and 100, because that's where I have this like reverb bass tone filling out the low end. I didn't use a bass guitar, I didn't use a synth or VST to do the bass. I sampled a reverb tail and played it with the machine controller or like a drum machine. I played the sample tone back end of the low humming kind of reverb tone. But anyway, there's a lot that's missing in this area where I could use some harmonic content. Maybe I'll revisit, I probably will revisit the balance of the low end here, because that tends to be, it looks like a lot. Now, I figured, let me play a tune that I think is very well mixed. And I went to Harvey McKay's, a fairly recent one of his. And you can tell probably by looking at it, so even in the, there we go. What I wanted to do was hold it. So even when I backed up to around bar 35 or so over here, we're really not yet into the meat and potatoes of his tune. You can tell that there is much more going on in the mid and upper mid-range area of the track, and for a couple reasons. So he has that catchy little riff playing, a couple chords, boom, 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 boom. I don't have that in my tune. So I figured, let me take a screenshot and see where stuff is really different. And then I could take some notes and refer to what's going on. So Harvey, you can tell, definitely has more in the sub-range reason going on than I do. And that's what he's known for. You kind of think of that, you know, big low end on his tunes. But he also has a lot very well done in this area as well, from like 100 hertz all the way to the upper, you know, 16 kilohertz region, right? So I have some of that done well, maybe 42, maybe in this area a little bit, but there's some gaps, right? So that caused me to go back to the drawing board and you know, what could I add in that's going to fill out this range? And I want to give you an idea too. So when we look back at the breakdown, or the little break here in his tune, So these chords, look at how much they fill out when they're by themselves. Here we go. That's a nice part with just the chords and no echoey percussion. So you can see that these chords are taking up a nice part of the mix. It's very wide frequency response from like down to 100 all the way up to the 2 and 3 kilohertz range. Maybe more like 1. So anyway, so I went back to the drawing board because trying to get this track the best it can be. So what I came up with was another chord part, and it sounds like this. So this is what it pretty much sounded like before. And I added these chords that come in by bar 33 or so. They, you know, I fade them in. So that's what I did. I added in those chords, and the result is that it filled things out a whole lot more. I'm still going to go back and do a couple little mix tweaks and maybe some things with the arrangement. Nothing huge. I'm still in the 90% done range here. But I thought that was a really good piece of feedback from Jorgen at Audio Issues to go back and look at not the balance of how everything sounds, because nothing was masked, there were no clashes or anything like that, but I was missing something in that you know, the mid-range basically. So to fill it out, I added some keys, and when I looked at Harvey's track, I was like, yeah, those keys that he uses really go a long way. And then he also has a lot of special stuff going on in the highs. That could be another lesson, but the cymbals and everything work really well. And it's another thing too, you don't want to sabotage yourself by comparing my work in progress mixed by Lander with his track that's professionally done and everything, but definitely sounding more polished when I added the keys. It adds more memorable and catchy, interesting content. So I'm on board with that bit of feedback, and I will keep the track with the new keys in it. So that's what I have for you in this tip. Feel free to subscribe to the site and YouTube channel. When you subscribe on the site, there's lots of free goodies that I give away. A popular thing that I do on the site, if you're someone who's struggling with arrangements, this series here has been very popular. I deconstruct the work of a known producer, and then you can learn the arrangement process by studying others. You could even download this Ableton file And if you have an idea that's like in the 8 to 16 bar loop phase, and you're like, man, I got all this stuff that's just collecting dust on my hard drive, I got to get better at finishing music, you could use these templates as a way to fit your music into them. And I go through it in a lot of detail, you know, bars 1 through 16, bars 17, bar 25. So check the site out for this stuff. I do one of these a couple times a month. I give away the Ableton mock arrangement, and sometimes I give away some samples too that are inspired by the work. So that's what I have for you in this video, and I will see you soon. Feel free to subscribe. Bye.